Hello friends, I welcome you again to this channel. Friends, in this video, we are going to discuss the term dramatic monologue. Friends, I have been teaching English language and literature in various colleges for more than 22 years, and many times the students ask this question: what is a dramatic monologue? Friends, dramatic monologue is a kind of a poetic device. It is a type of poetry which was written during 16th century, 17th century, but it was the most popularized during the 19th century, or you can say during the Victorian era. And Robert Browning, a Victorian poet of the 19th century England, he became the most revered exponent of this dramatic monologue. First of all, let's try and understand the meaning of the term monologue. You see, the word monologue actually has two words in it. One is mono and the other one is log. Friends, mono means one and log means speech. So the name dramatic monologue itself implies that monologue is a speech spoken or delivered by a single character, right? I repeat it again. Monologue means a speech spoken or delivered by a single character. It is a type of poetry in English literature in which one speaker speaks and he or she talks to some imaginary character. Sometimes the poets want to present a kind of dramatic situation in poetry. Friends, you must have studied drama. In drama, we have a stage, and on the stage, some characters they talk among themselves. They deliver some dialogues. So the same kind of dramatic situations sometimes are created by the poets in their poetry. And to create such a dramatic situation in poetry, the poets use this device which is known as a dramatic monologue. In this dramatic monologue, the speaker is trying to convince someone about his own ideas, about his own views. It is just like you can imagine that a character is standing on the stage and he is addressing to the audience, or maybe he is addressing to an imaginary character. Okay, so it is just like a kind of a soliloquy, but again it is different from soliloquy. I'll talk about that later. But dramatic monologue you can say it has all characteristics of a drama, or you can say it is dramatic by nature, and it is a speech spoken or delivered by a single character. Let's try and understand the difference between monologue or dramatic monologue and a soliloquy. Friends, main difference is that dramatic monologue is mainly found in poetry and soliloquy is mainly found in drama, in the plays. In dramatic monologue, the speaker reveals, expresses his thoughts to the audience or to any other character. Okay? But on the other hand, in a soliloquy, the speaker expresses or reveals his thoughts to himself, and it does not involve any audience or any character. Okay? In soliloquy, say for example, if you read Christopher Marlowe's tragedies, or if you read William Shakespeare's tragedies or any other such plays, you find so many examples of soliloquies. In soliloquy, the character talks to himself. I mean, what thoughts are going on in the mind of the character, these thoughts are expressed with this device of soliloquy by the dramatist. But in monologue, the real dramatic situation is created in which one character continues speaking, and this speech is addressed to some imaginary characters. We have hundreds and hundreds of examples of dramatic monologues in English poetry. But remember, Robert Browning is the most outstanding exponent of dramatic monologues. Robert Browning, has used it comprehensively during his career as a poet. Browning, who was living during the 19th century, during Victorian era, has written many poems which are known as the poems of dramatic monologue. You can see these examples: Robert Browning's My Last Duchess, okay, The Last Ride Together, again another poem written by him. T.S. Eliot has also used this dramatic monologue, the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock, and A.I.'s Killing Floor, and John Donne and many other poets also have used this device or have used this kind of poetry during their career. Dramatic monologues, they have some specific functions to perform. Okay, number one, the main purpose of writing this kind of poetry is to convey an idea or a viewpoint through words in poetry. Number two, sometimes dramatic monologues are used to develop some characters in poetry, because it helps developing the characters. Why? Because slowly and gradually when the poetry advances, when the poem advances, during his speech the character expresses his views, and through his views we understand the nature and the character of the person who is speaking. Okay, so sometimes to develop the characters also such dramatic monologues are used. Sometimes the poets want to give some dramatic touch to their poetry, for that also it is used. And lastly, you can say that they are used to present some actions in poetry. Mostly, most of the poems that we read in English literature and in all literatures, they express the views of the poet, but sometimes some actions when the poets want to present in their poetry, they make use of this dramatic monologues. So friends, here I end up this small presentation on the dramatic monologues. If you really liked this presentation, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much.